You can look across the field or you could not. That's your choice. I can't tell you what to do. But when you look across there, they're going to look really good. And you got to give them a lot of credit because I know they've been through a lot. And the way they fight, scratch, claw, is inspiring. A quarterback that came in did a lot of things to give them a lot of confidence. And Coach Harlan's done a really good job of keeping a lot of things together there. So I got a chance to speak with him pregame, and he's an elite man. So I really enjoyed our conversation. Got to give him a lot of credit because it was really hard for us. And really proud of our team, really proud of our family. Those are the whole words of the week. We had to play as a family. We had to play as a team. And ironically, when you look at who played really well today, who made some of the biggest plays in the game, they happened to be, Jojo Nubin family. He's a 5th, 6th tailback. He was a safety last year and runs for 204 yards. We've been hit with the injury bug, and just to show people to be able to step in and be part of the family, we all had to pick it up, and he did too. And that was really amazing performance from him of getting his first quality time to do what he just did. Says a lot about Tyler, says a lot about his mom and dad, Sharice and Rodney Nubin. They're a huge piece of this family here, and they deserve a lot of credit for the type of parents they are to their sons and this football team. I think I'd probably speak for our team. They lead the parents on this football team, and really proud of them. Rylan Kelly with the huge onside kick recovery. Some of you had to look at your program. Who is 18? Who's 18? The Canadian. Rylan Kelly. And a lot of you have seen Thursday practices. We kick about 25 to 30 onside kicks. My goal, I'm actually the kicker, is to get them to drop the ball, get them to fumble the ball, get them to bobble the ball. I mean, we do it all the time, every Thursday. That's how we end practice. Kind of becomes part of a joke. They make it them versus me. I make it me versus them. And it's for moments like that. And I'm not saying that's just because of it, but you can, as a coach, you can go back and say, this is exactly why we do what we do. See the ball kicked. Was that close from calling a timeout? Because I could see his approach change. Then you just trust your players. I thought our defense was outstanding. They played Joe Rossi defense. They kept us in the game. They kept us in the game long enough to when we could finally start executing. We had the first 5 possessions were empty possessions. We fumbled twice. We get a hold, then we punt again. Then we throw a pick, or we fumbled. We fumbled the ball. I think that's how it went. Let me look at my actual notes here. Sorry, so many. Oh, we missed the field goal. We had 5 to 6 possessions in that first half that were empty until we got the field goal, and then we got the touchdown right before the half. And just before you ask me, I'm doing everything I can to see both sides of everything. I'd love to educate everybody that buys a ticket because, one, I appreciate everybody buying a ticket, but I want to educate them. I can't give them the ball back with time. You see, even with 18 seconds at the 25-yard line, 2 plays, you can be in field goal range. We still had a timeout. I want to bring it down under 30 seconds. That's plenty of time in football with a timeout. That's like 20 minutes. You could go get a soda and come back. We're probably still there. So I'd love to be able to educate and explain and teach people why we do what we do or why I'm doing that. It was very similar, to doing what we did the other day. So, I just appreciate everybody being here and cheering as loud as they did. And our home crowd really means a lot to us. So it was a good team win, good family win. It was an excited locker room in there. We were 1-0 in the Michigan State season, so got a lot of work to do.
PG, what went into switching Jordan's position, and what made you have confidence that he could do it today?
Well, he's been a running back this year, right? So that's the good thing. But we looked at our running back depth. We lost about 3 backs that would be backs here today, would be our depth. And when we looked at that, we went through the 21 season, and then all of a sudden, Mo gets hurt in game 1. Then all of a sudden, the next guy gets hurt, and the next guy gets hurt, and the next guy gets hurt. Then Derek LeCaptain comes over from defense and has a touchdown versus Northwestern. It becomes a big factor. You can't have enough tailbacks. Pair and a spare and air and another pair. It's fair, said the hare. Sorry. Because I care. You ready? You want some more? Anyway, it's that's what we kind of did with the depth. And so And he started as the fourth, fifth tailback. He's always been really good. And we've always liked him, the ways he's ran the ball. Obviously, with Darius coming on the scene, then Darius hurt. And then, Sean has put the ball on the ground, but I still believe in Sean. Just when we went with JoJo, he started to become the hot hand. Zach being out, Bryce being out. And these are tough injuries for these guys to go through. A few of them are surgical. So, it's like, it's tough when you watch guys go down with that. But that's football. You can't prevent some of that stuff. But he's done a great job of being able to fill in, have the expectation continue to rise. And I think Nick McKissick-Luke is doing a phenomenal job coaching the running backs. Imagine that. Every day somebody else is gone. All the investment gone. Then you got to make the investment go quick. Xander Rockout moved over he's a true freshman. He was a really good rusher in the state of Wisconsin. And so we started going through on Sunday. We're like, all right, who ran the ball in high school? Let's start with that. Then we went through Xander. And then we went through Zaquan Bryan. And we're like, well, Zaquan, I watched him live do a lot of things with the ball. So he ran tailback as well this week. And it was the coaching that had to go into that was inspiring. And Nick McKissick-Luke really, he earned it tonight, man. What a great coach, what a great human being, what a great person, and just thankful he's part of our staff because he's made that running back room in a very challenging year, a very youthful year, a very inexperienced year, big question mark year, as you can see, 204 yards from JoJo.
What kind of lift did having Cody back give you?
Cody was on a pitch count, and he did a great job. I think he played like 40 snaps. That was exactly where the staff wanted him to be. Somewhere around that 70%, 40 plays, right around that. And I thought they did a good job of monitoring him. Of course, if it was up to him, he wouldn't come off the field. He'd play offense too. That's the kind of guy he is. But, just really good to have him back. And you could just see that. But not having him back has made our linebacking core, not having him there has made our linebacking core have to grow up really fast. Maverick Baranowski's, right, the Devin Williams of the world. These guys have grown up. We talked about how well that freshman and sophomore played last week in a huge win for us, against Iowa, and probably two of the better players on the field in their freshmen and sophomores. So this is part of that developmental program as we keep going forward. And we just got to keep developing them and getting them better.
PJ, can you speak on your quarterback, Ethan? He seemed a little more poised today.
I thought he seemed really poised. Got hit a little bit more than he's probably been hit all year. They did a good job bringing some different blitzes, and they're strong, big, and long. And that's a really good front seven. They don't get enough credit for how good they are up front. There's a lot of transfers up there. They're very strong. They're very big. I thought Ethan hung in there really well. I thought he had a really good second half, kind of middle of the game into the second half. He still hasn't put together a complete game, but he does you're watching him manage the game way better. He has way more poise. Is he perfect? No. Is he going to be perfect? No. Ever? No. But I watch incremental pieces and parts keep coming together. Things he didn't do last week, he did today. There were some things that were in the dirt last week. Today they were on the money to Daniel. He made huge throws in crucial situations and moments. I thought Brevin Spann-Ford really took a huge step forward, which is very refreshing. He's earned that ability for me to say that because we've been waiting for him to really turn it on. So I thought Ethan did a great job seeing the field today. The one you'd love to be able to have back with the interception. It's not acceptable. It's kind of like a punt. The way I have to at least mentally say, okay, let's move on. You look at it like a punt, but that was a little uncalled for. But other than that, I thought, looking at what he did, I thought he played better than he has. And again, we probably had one or two things that could have been caught. So 14 to 22, one touchdown, one interception. He was sacked 3 times. We got to eliminate those.
How big was the score before the end of the half with how your defense was playing to get the lead?
That's huge. That was a big drive for us. I thought Greg did a really good job of calling that. It was a really good play call at the very end. Singling up there. Kind of went into man coverage, single high, and Daniel did a great job running his option type route, and vertical took it. And even though the safety was in the middle of the field, he pushed so far over that Daniel just took it. And it was a good read by Ethan, and Ethan threw a heck of a ball because right before that he got hit and he got driven into the ground. I thought he bounced back to that, but that was huge for us. We don't believe in momentum, but it was the next right step because we knew we weren't getting the ball in the second half, and it was something to feel good about going into halftime. Did a good job of winding the clock down to make sure they couldn't go ahead and answer that at all. Thought our staff did a good job with that, and ended the half the way we wanted to do.
You had to be happy with the offensive line. They really wore them down in the second half.
Yeah, I think that's what the whole conversation was in the second half. The offense and myself was, all right, listen, I get it. We got this, we got that. But, you could see towards the end of the second half, if we were going to move the chain, we were moving the chains, and we were moving the chains with the run game. Unfortunately, we missed a field goal. Some other things went on, but we were moving the ball, and we felt, hey, we need to be able to dominate the line of scrimmage here, and we got to take over the game. And I thought our offensive line did with our tight ends, just like I thought our defensive line did on the opposite side. I really think they did that. I mean, besides when Ford came in and just scrambled all over the place and basically ran an organized/unorganized, called/not called draw where he could just freelance. He's a really good player. Kid's a young player, freshman. He's going to be a good player. But he sparked that drive for him. That was a huge pick at the end by Trey. A 4th and 1 call at the very end. You can go for it and end it. But we wanted to make sure no matter what, they were going to have to score plus get a 2-point conversion. If they missed a 2-point conversion, it was going to be over. And then with no timeouts, with about 2.5 minutes to go, everything in my body said go for it. But that in your heart, in your gut, in your soul, but then your brain takes over. And I believe in Dragon, and we made it a 15-point game. And at that point, it felt like we could rely on our defense with no timeouts. And if you stop on a 2-point conversion, the game's over anyway. So really, really proud of our defense holding them out of the end zone on that last drive.
You take one or two more. You go formation into the boundary, and Crab delivers a thunderous block on Newman's first TD. What did you initially see on that?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a crack block on that, but I think the guy kind of dove, and he kind of dove at the same time. I think it looked like way worse than it actually sounded or looked. I thought it was a great call by not calling it because he dove. Crab dove, kind of turned his back. The other guy turned his back. It was more like 2 shoulder pads popping, and kid went forward. He didn't go in. It wasn't a crack, and the kid went flying inside. He still went forward. But I thought that was, that's his man, and he's got to seal that. And that was a springing block that got JoJo into the end zone.
We'll go ahead and finish with Andy.
I was going to ask about the Crab play.
You have one final question?
Yeah, for the just earning carries throughout the game and throughout the season. 40 carries for Jordan Newman. That's the second player in your time at Minnesota ever to have 40 carries. Can you just speak to him and how he played today?
Yeah, everybody wants their opportunity until you get your opportunity. He took advantage of his opportunity. That's what I mean. Everybody wants their opportunity, and then it's here. You don't get to pick when that opportunity comes. It's a great lesson for all the young players out there, no matter what sport. You have no idea if you're a backup, if you're a 3, you're a 4, when your opportunity will come. And you got to control the controllable. He can't control that I'm going to play that person. Now, he can control his performance and go out compete those guys, which he's close. He's always been close. But when you look at where he measured up with everybody else, that's where he fit in training camp, and that's where we went into the season. But he's always been ready for his opportunity, always. He's not a guy that comes in my office and says, why am I not playing? He's not a guy that's complaining about his playing time. He's not sitting there saying, man, I'm going to leave. He's not doing any of that. He just works harder. He's a quad team member. He wears a certain sticker on our helmet that our quad team, all 4 special teams and majors wear. We celebrate him every Friday. We do a highlight tape for him. We cheer for him. Like our players love that part of our meetings. And JoJo's always on there. He's one of the most beloved players on this team. But he's always been ready for his opportunity. Sunday night football, when we play our Sunday night football, which we will do tomorrow night, he was outstanding in those. And that's how you keep him sharp in the bullpen. So when he's ready for his moment, he takes it. And he did tonight. Again, a lot of people say they want their opportunity. They say it all they want. And then you get it. Like I said, 90% of the things we actually wish and dream and hope for in our lives actually come true. It's just when you get it, what do you do with it? Do you run for 204 or do you run for 2? JoJo Newman's a great example of that. So great team win, great family win. We'll enjoy this one, 1-0 against Michigan State, and then we'll set our sights on the next one. So appreciate everybody's support. Thanks to our fans. Everybody have a safe Halloween. Roll the boat, Sky, Mago Gophers.